Hey folks, I'm Sally, and today we're diving into one of the biggest ongoing topics in Nintendo speculation right now, the rumours surrounding a potential Ocarina of Time remake for the Switch 2 this year. And honestly, this is one of those stories that just refuses to die down. Every few months it comes back stronger, and recently it's picked up again in a big way thanks to new leaks and commentary from well-known gaming leaker Nate the Hate. So let's break it all down properly, what's being said, why people believe it, and what's probably still just speculation. First, it's important to understand why Ocarina of Time is even at the centre of all this. This isn't just any Zelda game, it's one of the most influential video games ever made. It defined action-adventure gameplay, introduced mechanics that are still used today, and sits in that rare category of universally respected classics. So naturally, it's been on people's remake wishlist for quite a few years. We've already had a version of it before with Ocarina of Time 3D, which improved visuals and smoothed out some gameplay elements. But that was still fundamentally the same game. Fans have always wondered what a true, modern, ground-up remake would look like on current or next-gen hardware. And that brings us to the current wave of rumours. The most important name being mentioned in all of this is Nate the Hate, a gaming leaker who has had a pretty accurate track record with Nintendo-related leaks, according to his recent statements. He believes Nintendo is actively working on a full Ocarina of Time remake rather than just a remaster. In earlier discussions, Nate suggested that he initially wasn't sure whether Nintendo would go for a simple HD upgrade or something more ambitious. But more recently, he's indicated that what he's hearing points toward a full remake instead of a basic remaster. Even more interesting is the timing being discussed. Nate has suggested the project could potentially align with Nintendo's 2026 lineup, possibly targeting the second half of the year or a holiday release window. That's not confirmed, of course, but it's the window being repeated across multiple leaks and discussions. Some reports, based on his claims, even suggest that Ocarina of Time could be positioned as a major holiday release for Switch 2, especially if Nintendo is looking to strengthen its early lineup for the new hardware. And that's where things start to snowball. Because once one credible insider mentions something like this, other leaks and reports start appearing around it. Some claim the remake is being developed from the ground up, not just visually upgraded but rebuilt with modern design principles. Others go even further and suggest it could be on the scale of something like Final Fantasy VII Remake, potentially reimagining parts of the game rather than strictly recreating it. There are even more extreme rumours floating around suggesting the game could be split into parts, although that particular idea is widely debated and not strongly supported. Honestly, I doubt multiple different parts. That isn't going to happen. But again, none of this has been confirmed by Nintendo. Still, there are reasons why fans are taking it seriously. Nintendo has been revisiting older franchises more frequently in recent years, whether through remasters, remakes, or enhanced re-releases. The Star Fox remake was announced recently, so the idea of returning to one of their most iconic titles isn't far-fetched on the surface, and there's also the timing factor. Nintendo needs to keep pushing sales of the Switch 2, and fans are naturally trying to predict what major titles could define that next stage push. Ocarina of Time is one of those games that always comes up in that conversation because of its legacy status. That's not all though. Another interesting detail from recent discussions is the idea that Nintendo may be building a stronger lineup of major releases. The obvious one being a new 3D Mario game, which is rumoured this or next year. But here's where we need to stay grounded for a second. Even though Nate the Hate and other, quote, insiders have made claims, there is still no official announcement from Nintendo. No trailer, no confirmation, no development reveal. Everything right now exists in the space between credible rumour and fan speculation. And that's important because Nintendo is famously secretive, right? They often don't confirm major projects until they are very close to being ready. So even if something is in development, it could still be years away, or could change entirely before release. That said, the reason these rumours keep spreading isn't just because of leaks. It's because most fans genuinely want this to happen. There's a huge emotional pull behind the idea of revisiting Ocarina of Time. For many players, it wasn't just a game, it was a defining childhood experience. So imagining it rebuilt with modern graphics, smoother controls, and immersive environments is incredibly appealing. But that also creates a challenge, because remaking something that is so highly regarded comes with almost impossible expectations. If Nintendo changes too much, fans risk feeling like it's not the same game anymore. If they change too little, people might question why it even exists. That balance is extremely difficult to get right, and it's probably one of the reasons Nintendo hasn't rushed into it yet. So where does all of this leave us? Right now, we're in full rumour territory. We have credible leakers like Nate the Hate suggesting a remake is being discussed or possibly developed. We have multiple reports pointing toward a 2026 timeframe, and we have a lot of excitement around Switch 2 as a platform and possible new games. A new Wario Land, anyone? Still, it's one of those topics that's impossible to ignore, because even the idea of it feels significant. Whether or not it turns out to be true, the conversation itself shows just how important Ocarina of Time still is in gaming culture today. So I'll leave it there for now. In case you're new to the channel, I'm Sally, and I'd love to know what you think. If Nintendo really is working on an Ocarina of Time remake for Switch 2, do you think they should stick closely to the original or completely reimagine it for a modern audience? Either way, this is one rumour that doesn't seem like it's going away anytime soon. Catch you next time.